Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Eli. Today I kind of wanted to talk about something more along the lines of the videos I've done in the past. So no, this isn't another book review. Those will be coming soon though, so to all those viewers that watch those videos, which I know is only a few, but I did get one like, so it's whatever though. This is gonna be a video more akin to the fitness stuff I've done in the past. Although it's not gonna be from such an arrogant position. I feel like back then I kind of put out a lot of misinformation. Not necessarily like to a bad degree, but it was more so just I wasn't acknowledging the fact that I wasn't as experienced as I should have been to kind of convey all of that information. But anyways, what I wanted to talk about today was ambition and my current goals, how they've deviated from goals I made in the past, and how my outlook on goals and ambition has changed over the years. Something that's been such an incredibly large part of my life over the last year and a half, I want to say, is endurance training. My fitness journey really began in the gym. As you can kind of assume from some of the videos I put out before, I was always really into lifting and improving in certain lifts, certain compounds, and building muscle. But once I dropped my sport of baseball, or not necessarily dropped, I just wasn't good enough to play at the next level. So once my sport dropped me, I was feeling a little bit empty, a little bit confused as to what the next part of my life was gonna be. Like I said, endurance training has become a huge part of my life. There's this one race that's held every year in my town during the summer. There's a week called Yankee Homecoming where the entire community really gets together, and there's lots of tourists from all around the world really. And they come together and there are lots of events held throughout the week, but one of them is a race day. There are two races, so there's a 5K and a 10 mile. And for years I had watched people race these races, just watching with amazement really at the fact that somebody could possibly run 10 miles in the absolute smoldering heat. I swear that day is typically the hottest day of the year, and somehow, I don't know where I got the will really, but I decided one day that I was gonna sign up for that race last year. So, me and my good buddy Brendan decided to sign up, like I said, and we started training for it, and it was just such a fantastic and fulfilling journey to be able to wake up every day with a purpose of getting fitter for running and eventually having something pay off and doing something so hard that I didn't think I would be able to do. And even throughout the race, there were so many moments where I didn't think that I could possibly do it, and it truly was such a difficult experience. And the fact that I was able to push through really opened my eyes as to like the fact that I can achieve certain goals that I set. Like for years I'd kind of like set goals half-heartedly, not really believing that they would come true or that I would be able to kind of push myself to do the hard things that it required to pursue those goals and fulfill those goals. But this run was like the moment where I realized that a goal I had set for myself, a particularly hard goal, was able to be fulfilled. I remember during the race just wondering if I was ever gonna run again after this race, if I was ever gonna race again, feeling so doubtful, so skeptical, and so I guess just confused as to why I even was gonna put myself through something like that. It all seemed so stupid at the time. But crossing the finish line, I'll put a video of it here, but my girlfriend was cheering me on with a sign, and she came up and gave me a big hug after the race, and my family was, my house is right next to the finish line, and my family was all here cheering me on, my sisters, my best friends were here watching, and it was just such a fulfilling experience. I can't wait to do it again this year. But anyway, so after that race, I decided to continue on with running. As you can kind of presume, I got hooked. I mean, I decided to sign up for a half marathon, and over the next few months my training really ramped up. I was up to running about 30 plus miles a week. During November, a few months later after the 10-mile race, I ran a half marathon, and my initial goal was an hour and 40 minutes, but I was actually able to run it in sub 1 hour 30 minutes, which was also really incredible, and felt like, wow, like I can raise the bar even further for myself and keep pushing. And just because I achieve one goal doesn't mean it has to stop there. I feel like for running and endurance sports in general, the trajectory is always improving, and there are always things you can do to get more fit, to recover better. And it's just such a fulfilling cycle of putting all of yourself into something and having something that continuously brings you results and progress. And it's just been so fulfilling for me. So after running this race, I ended up getting pretty injured over the winter. I realized I was overtraining a lot, and I wasn't eating enough to sustain my running. I was up to like 40 miles a week, and on the treadmill too. It was absolutely miserable. And I realized I was trying to sustain like a kind of leaner physique, and I just like wasn't feeding myself enough to the degree that I should have. And this was absolutely stupid of me. And I hurt my Achilles really bad. I didn't tear or anything, but I'm just now, like 5 months later, really beginning to recover from that. I had a bunch of weightlifting injuries. I had bad tendonitis in my pec, bicep area over here. And I was just not really able to do the training that I wanted to do. But slowly but surely, I recovered, and I decided that I wanted to set a new, even more extreme goal for myself. That being, I want to race in a half Ironman at some point next year. I think running has really changed my life for the better. I've always loved to swim. I've always loved to bike. And I feel like for some reason, when I started running, I just had a feeling like this was going to be like the coalescence, if that's a word, the ultimate goal of mine. Like, this is really something I'm very passionate about, and I'm just really excited to share with you guys my training. I really want to like kind of demonstrate how I'm going through with this, because this is like I don't have a coach or anything. I never really had a coach for running. I'd asked a few people who I knew that run a lot in my town for advice with running, but I'm very, I guess, unknowledgeable about a lot of things when it comes to this sport. I don't even have a bike. I've been riding my little sister's tiny bike. I'll probably show a clip of me riding it. But yeah, there's so much that I don't know, and there's so much room for improvement, which is really what excites me the most, I think. I'm fortunate, very fortunate to have a pool in my backyard and a bike at all, I guess. Like, I know bikes are really expensive, so I'll take what I can get, and hopefully I can buy a bike towards the end of the summer if I make enough money. But yeah, I'm really excited to show you guys my progress and just like the things I learn along the way, really. The main message of this video, the main takeaway I kind of want to give to you guys is something I've discovered in myself over the last year with endurance sports has been a newfound sense of ambition. Never before have I really found myself with dreams or passion. Like, I had never had any idea what I wanted to do with my life. Having ambition is so incredibly important, and not setting goals that are like too realistic, if that makes sense. I kind of always gave myself these goals that I knew deep down I could easily achieve. When I went to school for college, I'm still in college, I'm going to my junior year next year. I thought I wanted to do econ. I thought like being a finance dude, and obviously no disrespect to these people. I'm sure there are people who are very passionate about finance, and no respect to anything out there, like any career path. Like there is really like honor and respect in all, like, I won't say all, but so many different careers out there. And the main point I'm trying to get across is I was not passionate about finance. The only reason I decided to go into econ was because I thought it was going to be an easy way to make money. I wouldn't have to try too hard in my classes. I had always heard, oh, like business classes are really easy, etc. But after like a few months into freshman year, taking those classes, I decided I really was not passionate about it, and I didn't think I wanted to live my life as like a finance person. I didn't really see like the purpose in that, and I ultimately decided to switch my trajectory towards like a medicine path. And I'm not trying to, obviously, again, not trying to be like a cocky person saying like, oh, I'm doing this because it's really hard or whatever, but deep down, I had a feeling like that was what I was passionate about. That was what I wanted to do. I thought I had this like calling, I guess. I don't know if it sounds dumb, but I thought that was what I was meant to do. But I didn't want to dare like set that as my goal because I knew it was too ambitious, too seemingly difficult. But I realized like just because it's something hard doesn't mean you have to like prohibit yourself from doing that. Since then, I found myself way more dedicated to my studies and feeling a fulfillment, really. I mean, like, I'm a 20-year-old kid. I don't really know that much about anything, really. I mean, at least I'm kind of expressing that now. I feel like before I was very just like, oh, I know it all. I'm a 17-year-old kid. I know everything, but I know that's not the case. And I don't know. The point is, ambition is very important. And I'm just now, as a 20-year-old kid, really realizing the importance of it. Setting this goal of training for a 70.3 Ironman is very ambitious, but I'm willing to share this journey with you guys, with the ups and downs, the highs and lows, and I'm glad I finally realized that I'm able to achieve these seemingly difficult goals that I set for myself, because now I can really kind of accept the things that I really want to do, if that makes sense, and not limit myself and really pursue the person I want to become. And this is something I'm really passionate about, and I can't wait to continue training and demonstrate and show you guys how it goes, really. So yeah, thank you.